Alright guys, here's a little saw I bought the other day. China. Read it, man. I think you can see. Let's see. Get it focused in there right. There it is. China. Actually, I think it was a Stanley or Black & Decker. Yeah, right there on the blade says Black & Decker. Okay. What I'm going to do is I want to show you guys this knife. I'm going to run it through some paces here. I don't have much brush, and well, you can see my wood here. Look at my wood compared to what my knife is. Okay. Boy, that thing's so thick it don't want to stick in the wood very good. I mean, it will, but anyhow, I got a little bit of brushy stuff. That's what I got these saws out here for. I'm going to check this saw out and just kind of see what it does. It don't do too bad on it. I myself, these limbs like this, I don't mess around with a saw. To tell you the truth. You know, it's kind of a waste of time for me to use saws. I've got this one here and I've got another little one. Oh, I bought it years and years ago. Coleman. Gosh, this thing's probably, I want to say this thing's at least I'd say about at least 12 years old. It ain't been used hardly at all, you know, but you can see it don't cut near as good as that Black & Decker China there. But the only reason I bought this saw here, this Coleman saw, me and my son, when he was alive, we bow hunted, and it was kind of handy to throw in your fanny pack, you know, and take up in deer stand. If you had any limbs that you could reach that needed to be trimmed, trim them out of the way. That's what it was for, basically. And if I had something that I couldn't reach, I'd cut down a long stick or a long tree or something, and then lash it to the end of it with some cordage and reach up in the trees and reach out away from my stand, cut down tree limbs, whatever, you know. That's what it was for. But pretty much anymore, if I got limbs like that, instead of that saw, like I said, it's a wasted amount of time. It's just, I don't know. I'd rather use these. I mean, the way I've got these. Okay, now let me tell you about these knives. These knives was just basically a set of micarta handles and a blank, okay? And I got these from Tractor Supply, and they come with a little bitty old cheap, I don't even know what kind of, some kind of little bitty old sheath, you know, I don't know. And that's what they come with. But I got to messing with it, and if you look at it, they're full tanged, right down all the way down the spine, you know, I mean, and they're heavy. These are very, very heavy knives. Right at a 1/4 inch thick. I don't think you're going to hurt them. I really don't. They are tough. I put them in the fire, and I oil quenched them, and I hardened them up, and then I tempered them. And it really, because before I'd done all that, I put an edge on it. It had a, kind of like a Scandi grind on it, but it had a secondary bevel down there. I took that out, okay? And if you look at it, there ain't none of them down there. It's just basically a Scandi grind. I took that out before I ever did any hardening, and I sharpened them up, and it would take an edge, you know, don't get me wrong. I mean, it was hair popping. But then I hardened it, and then I tempered it up. But back to these limbs, I don't find them saws. Them's killers as far as, they waste a lot of energy. The way I look at 2 hits and that little limb's gone. There's another one gone. There's one gone. You know, what? There's that in a single hit. Why waste all that energy on a saw when you can take these knives You know, that limb right there is bigger, twice as big as I did with a saw right there. That's twice as big than I did with saw. So far I've hit it, what, 3 times? There you go. 5 times, hit it, and it's gone. You know, there's one time, and I want you to look at them cuts. Them cuts are butt slick. They ain't no jagged cut to it. I mean, they're slick cuts. Every one of them, they are slick cuts. These knives take an edge, and they hold an edge. That's what amazes me. I got my ferro rod here. They throw a good spark. I've been able to get a good spark off from them so far. I was going to try to chop through this thing here and see how many times, really see what kind of steak I can get out of this thing. And you notice I'm using these 2 fingers back here on the back. I have no lanyard on this thing yet, but I plan on it, putting a lanyard on the back of them. Oh, it's eating through there like a damn, I don't know if you guys can see that. Looks like a beaver eating through it. Let me tilt that down just a little bit. Looks like a beaver going through that. I ain't kidding you. Look at that. You know? And why? Look at them cuts. This is hard wood. It's as dry, seasoned. Piss elm, I think. We got a bunch of piss elms around here. And that piss elm, when it dries up, it's harder than the hubs of hell, guys. That's what that's what this is all, piss elm stuff right here. I got this, my little camp axe. I changed the bevel on that. I put a big old long deep grind on it and sharpened it up. It shaves hair too. This is one I had to put stitches in with my son for him, but I changed the profile on it twice now. First time I changed the profile, I didn't take it back so far. And I just did it again the other night. I checked it back. I took it way back. I think that's just a little over ½ inch on that bevel now, instead of an 1/8 of an inch like the factory. Like the factory sends out with it, you know. But watch it. Let's see. Yeah, you know, I'm not left-handed, guys. Okay, but I can. It'll set in that wood, and I'm just, you know, barely hitting it, and it's going down to that mark where the end of that bevel stops. That's how deep it's going, and I'm not really putting no swing in it. That's it. And like I said, if you know anything about this wood, it's hard stuff. It really is hard. This handle, I've never, oh look at there, see, I was going to say, I've never really done anything with this. Now look at that, this camp axe, I've never done anything with it. Now look, the wedge is coming out of it, you know. I noticed the handle was starting to loosen up there, that's why I was getting ready to say something about it. I've never done anything with it, never ever. I bought this little axe here, call it my camp axe, for a couple reasons. I don't like a regular camp axe. I got a hammer on this one, and I've also got a nail puller here if I need be, you know. I'm just waiting for this handle to go out. I wished it would go ahead and break. I need to give it to my son, let him go ahead. He's hell on handles. That's one thing I can say about him. He is hell on handles. But I'm going to go ahead, once it goes, I'm probably go out here and I'll probably end up making me another handle, or finding me one nice longer handle that's got a little more of the just a little more shape to it. I don't like this handle here. Like I said, I bought this little old axe, I don't know, $5, $6, $7, guys. It wasn't a lot down here at the little tool store. It's one of them little, probably China-made piece of crap, you know, but I can sharpen just about anything, guys, really, I can. Last year, I used this for cleaning deer. This little axe right here, it's good for, I want you to look at that. You watch how that thing, it'll still just get right down in these gloves and cut like it's a knife. I use them for cleaning deer. Plus you can do odd and end jobs around the camp, you know, with them. You know, you can do just about anything with this can with a knife, really. I mean, I can. It's sharp. I do a lot of different things with it. You know. I like it. It's a nice little axe. I just waiting for the handle to go out of it so I need to give it to Cody, like I said. So he can go ahead and finish it off. Let's see where this knife is. And so I'm gonna mess with these knives. And that's what I intend to do. Look at that. Son of a bucket. She's sharp. She really is sharp, guys. And like I said, they hold an edge too. They retain that edge. I couldn't believe it. I guess I did a pretty good job on it. I hardened that thing up. I've been down here. Get this other stick here. Well, hold on a minute. Let me show you. Let's see here. I got a piece of newspaper. Let's see what we got. Now this is newspaper. You know, newspaper is pretty light. Look at that. That thing still cuts. Still cutting pretty good. Let's see what we got here. I know I put a lot of work into these knives. Every bit of this is done by hand sanding. Ain't no grinder been a hold of these blades. It's all been done by hand. And here's my watch what it does as far as throwing the bits off a ferrule rod. Now this car get by here. You'll probably be able to hear it a little better if you can't see it. I don't know if you can see them or not. Yeah, you can see it. Let me get that other truck by here. Shit. They right on, act like when you go to do something like this, it's Interstate 44. I don't know if you guys, I'm sure you can see that. It just, there was a hell of a spark, you know? Yeah. I know you can see that. You gotta be able to see that. It just throws all kind of sparks, you know? It cleans right up, but I don't know. Let's see. Well, shit. Here's what I was going to show you guys. The most important thing is the scabbards. I'm going to sell these knives, or this one here anyhow. There you go. Now, I ain't going to sell it with this ferrule rod. It ain't going. But the knife, I've done what I've done to the knives, plus the scabbard. And it has, now the scabbard's got Ranger bands on this, guys. There's Ranger bands on that. And I don't know how many of you guys really know, but I've been told that these things are selling for around $205, $210, $220. I've heard up for $220 for these kind of scabbards, okay? And this thing has got real good retention. It's water formed. The scabbard's been water formed. I'll tell you what, let me take them Ranger bands off there. I know, because you'll want to see. Okay. It's got the Chicago screws in it. Sex screws. They call them sex screws at the, down where I get the screws from. That's another name for them. But yeah, this scabbard can be carried 3 different ways, guys. I mean, you can carry it off the dangler, or if you want, you can carry it high on the hip, or you can scout carry it. It'll carry, you know, all 3 ways. And you got the ferrule rod there. So I'm going to start making knives. I'm working on a forge. I'm going to get a propane forge going, and I'm going to start banging out some knives by hand and selling them along with scabbards. And the scabbard will be basically, it's all custom. There it is. Knife, scabbard, no ferrule rod, and you've seen what I was doing here with the knife, and you've seen the edge retention that it kept on. It's damn things hold a good edge. Now I have not, and I'll repeat, I have not locked in these screws with any thread lock or the handles. That way, if a person wants some different scales put on this knife, I can do that. They can do that, whatever. They can make their own fit them. I myself like that grip. It fits good in the hand, good and tight that way. You can turn it around in fighting position and use it that way. I don't know how many guys is actually, but that's the way I was showed to fight with a knife. You can punch and hit and slice, gouge, jab, you know, or you can still, yeah, you can, whichever, but whatever. But the scabbards have, you can hear that snap. Listen to that. That's retention, guys. Listen. Hear it snap? That's water form. That's about it. If you guys want to buy these knives, send me a message, whatever, and private message me or whatever. I'm going to sell them knives for 140 bucks along with that scabbard, guys. You can't buy the scabbard for $140, and I was looking, I got a few other knives that fit this scabbard just fine. I've got a buck. I believe it's a buck. It belonged to my son. It's a Skinner knife. It's got a gut hook on it, little bitty Skinner knife, but fits this scabbard fine. All right, talk to you later. Bye. I forgot to show you guys. I'm gonna baton some of this wood. I ain't got much wood to baton with, but sure you guys get the point. With this knife, it ain't gonna baton a big piece of wood. I think it'd be just a damn good bushcraft knife. Plus the way that blade is designed, make one hell of a Skinner. Which you guys know that a full tang knife, when you're batoning them, well, you don't hurt it much. I know that. Unless it's in real cold temperatures, you might get something to break. You know, depends on the temper it's in the metal, I guess. I'd say a lot of it comes down to, tell you the truth. But you can see, I mean, hell, I can stand here and knock these little pieces of wood apart all day long. Anybody can. I ain't gonna tell you nothing about the knife. All I know is that damn good knives. You know, look at that shit, boy. Buries it in that wood. I'm telling you, that piss elm's hard, guys. And it's in there. Look at that. That's a big stick of wood. It's holding that up. That stick of wood big. You know, it's going in there. Ain't no playing around with that shit. It's getting in the wood. Deep. Boys, I'd say it's a hell of a knife for 145 bucks or whatever I said it was. Oh well. Talk to you later. Bye.